There's a fire that doesn't roar. It doesn't demand attention or chase applause. It burns quietly, deep inside the soul, forging strength in silence, reshaping us in stillness, teaching us to rise without noise. This isn't a story about being seen. It's about becoming unshakable in the unseen. What if your greatest strength isn't something you show to the world, but something you build in silence? We love to celebrate loud success, the trophies, the posts, the proof that we've made it. But true resilience often blooms in the shadows, in those quiet moments no one sees, where your soul begins to rebuild itself. So today, I want to talk about that, the art of quiet growth, and how unseen transformation can build a strength that no storm can shake, because maybe the most powerful parts of you are the ones the world hasn't seen yet. Have you ever felt like you're changing on the inside, but the world hasn't noticed? Like you're blooming underground and all they see is dirt? That invisible season can feel lonely. You might wonder if your efforts matter, if your healing is working, if your silence is worth it. But I'm here to tell you it is. Quiet growth is sacred. It's where your roots strengthen before your petals unfold. So if you've been unseen, unheard, or underestimated, this message is for you. Stay with me, because what's happening within you right now is nothing short of powerful. We've been taught that strength must be seen, that to be powerful, we must stand tall, be loud, prove ourselves. But strength doesn't always look like a roar. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it's a deep breath after chaos. Sometimes it's choosing peace instead of performance. The world tells us to constantly show up, but real growth often asks us to slow down, to sit in solitude and let our spirit recalibrate. That's not weakness, that's mastery. When you step away from the applause, you start to hear your truth again. And that quiet truth becomes your compass. Quiet doesn't mean you're fading. Quiet means you're focusing. Think about a seed. It spends most of its time buried underground, hidden, unseen, surrounded by darkness. But in that darkness, it's transforming, breaking open, building roots that will one day hold a tree. That's what your unseen growth looks like. Every hardship, every pause, every moment you spend healing in silence is feeding the soil of your becoming. Remember, the forest doesn't begin in daylight, it begins beneath the surface. Even history's strongest souls, artists, thinkers, healers had seasons where they vanished into solitude. They weren't gone, they were preparing. And when they emerged, the world called it a breakthrough. But they knew it was just their time to bloom. So how do we grow quietly? How do we keep the roots strong while the world is rushing above us? Let's keep it simple. Here are 3 practices that build quiet strength. First, journaling. Write to understand yourself, not to impress anyone. Your journal is your mirror, not your megaphone. Ask yourself, what am I learning? What am I shedding? What am I ready to receive? Second, meditation or stillness. You don't have to sit cross-legged under a tree. Just breathe. Create moments where your mind can reset and your intuition can speak again. Third, focused learning. Study what feeds your soul, not what gains approval. Take in wisdom that strengthens your spirit, not just your resume. And one more thing, protect your peace. Not everyone deserves access to your growth season. Boundaries are the walls that protect your garden. Define your success by how you feel, not by how you're seen. You don't need to prove your progress. You just need to live it. Here's the beauty of unseen growth. It doesn't stay unseen forever. When you build strength within, it begins to show in ways you can't fake. You walk differently. You speak with calm instead of chaos. Your energy shifts the room before you even say a word. That's quiet power. It's the kind of strength that doesn't beg for attention, it attracts it naturally. And people start to feel it. They feel your peace. They sense your grounding. They notice your light, even when you're not trying to shine. That's when you realize you've become the seed that grew into the forest. You are the calm others look for because you learned to be still with yourself first. So here's my invitation to you. Stop waiting for others to recognize your evolution. Stop comparing your quiet season to someone else's highlight reel. Your growth doesn't need an audience, it needs your presence. The quiet revolution begins when you say, I'm growing even if no one sees it yet. You don't need to post every win. You don't need to explain your healing. You are allowed to evolve privately. Let the world sleep on your progress. You're building something sacred. Every day you rise after falling. Every time you choose peace over pressure, you are practicing unseen resilience. And that's what makes your power unshakable. You don't have to be loud to be legendary. You don't have to be visible to be valuable. You just have to keep growing, because when your season comes, you'll rise like you were never gone. If this message resonates with where you are, hit that like button, share it with someone quietly growing beside you, and subscribe for more reflections on inner power and spiritual evolution. Together, we'll keep building this community of strength where the unseen becomes the unstoppable. Remember this, you're not behind, you're blooming underground, and your roots are already reaching the light.